So we go back to what we were talking about on Monday about Melchizedek, the king and the priest of God. His priesthood is not like a Levitical priest, but rather he is this older priest. However, I think it's important that we say this. Without father or mother or ancestry, this refers to the Levitical priesthood, not the fact that he didn't actually have a father or a mother. Without beginning of days or end of life, again, that doesn't mean that he lived forever. It means that his priesthood did not begin when he was 29 and end when he was 51. But I like this part. Thus made to resemble the Son of God, he remained a priest forever. Please note, Jesus doesn't resemble Melchizedek. Melchizedek resembles Jesus. Melchizedek is the forerunner. Melchizedek is the image of what will be. And so what is true as an image in Melchizedek is true completely in Jesus. He is the Son of God. We understand Jesus better if we understand Melchizedek. But Jesus existed before Melchizedek. And so you are a priest forever, according to the order of Melchizedek, not the Levitical priesthood, but the priesthood that goes before. We see that exercised in our gospel. Jesus goes into the synagogue, and it is a Sabbath, and there is a man with a withered hand. The Pharisees, who, by the way, started off as a really good group of people. They were calling the Israelites back to holiness. They wanted people to live lives dedicated to the Lord. But when the Lord showed up, they didn't recognize him. And so Jesus is angry. He says, looking around at them with anger and grieved at their hardness of heart. He wants them. You guys are the ones who were calling us to holiness. I am bringing you holiness. And so he is grieved at their hardness of heart. And so he tells the man to stretch out his hand. And when he stretches his hand out, he was restored. And what happens? The Pharisees went out immediately, took counsel with the Herodians. Just so you understand, appropriate analogy for today. If somebody had a problem and they said, I'm going to go to the Republicans and to the Democrats, and we're going to plot against you. All right? The Pharisees were dedicated to being Jewish and kind of fighting against Rome. The Herodians were the ones who backed Herod. So these were enemies. And yet when Jesus comes, Jesus who is the King of Peace, Jesus who is the great high priest, when he heals, they go to their enemies to plot together. It's a good insight into the sickness in our hearts, or the hardness of our hearts. When we see something we don't like, are we willing to be murderous in our intent? Maybe we don't go out and murder, but are we willing to be murderous in our intent? So, as a Catholic priest, I am not political in terms of one party or another. I do not engage in partisan politics. We do have a new president. He is Catholic. My opinion, if we have a Catholic president, he is held to a higher standard than a non-Catholic president. We need to double our prayers for President Biden. There is a very good chance that President Biden is going to attack the Catholic Church. And that's going to be a problem. A bigger problem because he's Catholic. Our response, as always, is to pray for a conversion of his heart. To pray for those people who don't agree with us. We do not want to become like the Pharisees or the Herodians who hardened their hearts and so could not see that the one who was going to bring them healing, I'm not talking here about President Biden, I'm talking here about Jesus. The one who was bringing healing was there in their midst, but they couldn't see it because their hearts were hardened. We need to make sure that our hearts remain open to God's grace flowing through us so that we can help all people come to Christ.